going to call heat 1 and heat 2, both down to the pool deck, okay? I'll check the end over the fan, okay? Heat 1 will go straight to the blocks. Heat 2 will go to the chairs behind the lane that you're going to swim in heat 2, okay? After the first event, there'll be a 5-minute break. After the second event, there'll be a 10-minute break. Then after the third event, 5. After the fourth, 10. Okay, that's the pattern. Okay? So on the 5-minute break, the pool will be open. You can do a little bit of a cool down, but then be ready to report right back over on the other side of the pool for the next event, because this is going to go pretty quick, okay? So be ready when I make a call. Everybody in an event, so you get checked in and ready to go, okay? And with that being said, let's have all of our 200 IM swimmers.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Parkway North High School. We are here once again at the 2020 Parkway IMX meet. This is the first meet of the year for many of these Parkway swimmers due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Most of the meets so far this season have been canceled or postponed, so a lot of these youngsters getting their first time in the pool to compete. And we are at the final session for this Saturday. This, of course, will be the 5th session overall. And this will be events number 25 through 30. If you are looking at your heat sheet at home or in your car or wherever you may be. But we hope you enjoy our broadcast here this afternoon. My name is Matt Judkins, producer and camera operator today, and the man behind all of the technology, Kevin Girth. We want to thank him for bringing this great setup to everybody and allowing us to bring you the sights and sounds here from the IMX swim meet. Swimmers are just about to line up. First event here this afternoon is going to be the 200-yard IM. These events are mixed, so you will see males and females in the pool at the same time. And what these swimmers today are trying to do most of all is really improve on their previous best time, or if they don't have a previous best time, as you will see in this first event, they are trying to establish their best time. So it should be fun watching these youngsters get back to competing once again. And we're just about set to go here. Again, event number 25, the 11 and over 200-yard IM. This event will be 8 lengths of the pool. Each stroke will do 2 lengths, a full lap, starting swimmers in this afternoon's contest made up of the AGS group, that's the AG group select team, the blue groups across the program, and the senior 1 groups. That's who's competing here this afternoon. A lot of these kids on the older end, 12s, 13, 14s, 15s, and 16s here this afternoon. So as we step to the blocks in this first one, we'll have our first swimmer not here the afternoon. That's Sandra Kim, but in lane 2, it'll be Lim Fu and Amelia Bachman. They are in lanes 2 and 3 respectively. This will pull out right off the bat by Fu. No time for her yet, but she stretches this one out nicely. Good form for her. She looks to get to the wall first, and in a very good time of just about 16 seconds, she'll flip and go the other way. Again, each of these swimmers will do 2 lengths of the pool, a full lap at each stroke. Butterfly, back, breast, and free. Bachman trying to break her best time of 3:41.91. But a very fast 35.74 in that initial free start, or 50 butterfly. A lot of times when you see these youngsters swimming this event, if they're strong in the butterfly, they can almost bring that home in the backstroke as well. Those strokes seem to go hand in hand. In my novice experience watching swimming for the last several years, a lot of swimmers who are good at one of those strokes, pretty good at the other one. It takes a lot of upper body strength, a lot of good technique, core strength, and then of course the very powerful kick, which is really necessary in order to get some good Swing, and you see that from Fu right there. She turns and goes into the breaststroke. Now, different type of stroke now as you go into the breaststroke. This one requires extremely concise technique, and you've got to be on point the entire time. You've got to swim tight, keep your head low to the water, and continue to push forward so the water doesn't pull you back and go too high. See that Rothman coming into the pool in the backstroke. She'll turn and she will go into the breaststroke. Fu really out fast here. 142.72 on the split for Rothman as she goes the other way in the breaststroke. See how she is staying right on top of the water. Doesn't get up too high. Lets the water just kind of glide around her body. But a very powerful swim so far for Fu. The 12-year-old wearing that American flag cap will touch the wall. Now she'll go into the freestyle. This is where you got to see, does the swimmer have anything left in the tank? Do they have any energy, or did they spend it all in their initial 3 strokes? A lot of swimmers can make or break in the stroke. Some of them are very strong in freestyle, so they can make up time. Others utilize this one as the one to get them back in contention as well. See Bothman now coming down to the flag. And she's going to touch, and she'll go into her freestyle in just a moment. But Fu trying to establish her first ever time. She is going to go well under 3 minutes. A great time for the 12-year-old as she hits the flags. Bothman goes the other way. She's going to hit it at 2:48.48. Nice initial time for her. Bothman will go down to the other end. Again, she's trying to beat her time of 3:41.91. So excellent swim for the 12-year-old Fu. And that just off of a double B time. She missed it by just a little over a second. So solid B time for her in her first time out. And I think any coach, saw Coach Chris Etherington cheering her on just a moment ago. But on the plus side as well, as Bothman comes back in, she is going to shatter her previous best time. She's going to come in under 3:30, 3:28.63 for that young lady. An improvement of 13.28 seconds. So congratulations to both of those youngsters. They'll jump out of the pool now, and now we'll go to heat number 2. Alex Tick, Leah Crandall, Alexis Briner, Colby Robick, Martina Muni, and Lauren Bothman will be the ones in this event. That was their order, top to bottom of the screen. Lane 1 is at the top of your screen. Lane 6 is at the bottom of your screen. And they'll all jump in now. You might recognize the name Robick if you were watching last night. Of course, Colby, the older brother of Peyton, who swam last night. He in his own right, very good as well. And very powerful. Good, consistent power strokes here on the butterfly right now. First one to the wall there was Briner, followed by Robick, then Crandall, Bothman and Muni, and Tixon right in behind them, but they're all neck and neck here now. The first 3 is Robick tries to make up a little time as he gets to the wall. Now they'll turn and go to the backstroke. 2 lengths of the pool, down and back on this backstroke. Good touch for both. Briner continuing with a very narrow lead over Robick, but they're pushing the envelope down to the other end of the pool. Crandall again, third in the heat, followed by Bothman, Muni, and Tixon. Very even with each other. Robick with a nice breakout on that backstroke. Slight edge possibly. Colby just 12. Alexis just 13. They'll come to the wall pretty close to each other. Colby will touch first. 0.21 ahead of Briner. And now they do go the other way. This is the breaststroke. Now, sometimes this is the stroke that will separate swimmers. Not all swimmers pick this stroke up as easily perhaps as the other ones. We talked about the first 2 earlier. The butterfly and the backstroke being more power stroke. Well, this breaststroke is a finesse stroke. It is a technique stroke, and you've got to have that down cold, or you can lose tremendous amounts of time. And right now you're seeing Robick really glide his way through the water, and now he's opened up about a 2-body length lead on Briner. Crandall continuing in third place on this near side is Bothman in lane number 6, though. She is closing that gap slightly. Rounded out once again by Muni and Tixon. Now here goes Robick the other way. Nice, once again, a nice breakout from him underneath the water as he continues to open up that distance between him and the next nearest swimmer. .205 for him, and that last turn was very good. He's going to be well off his best time. He's going to shatter that as they now come back under the flag. His previous best time for Robic, 2:58.33. He's going to be well under that. 2:40.41 for young Colby. Young man just beat his best time by almost 18 seconds. 2:46.51. 10-second, a near 10-second drop off. Crandall coming right in behind them at 2:54.31. Nice drop for her of 6 seconds. Excuse me. 2:57.37, a nice drop of more than 20 seconds for Bothman. 3:05.83, 6-second drop for Muni, and then Tixon, she came in at 3:20. She goes out at 3:10. So very good on both of those, or excuse me, all 6 of those youngsters dropping time here in this 200-yard IM. We'll check those really quick against our sheet for the new time standards, which were just released yesterday, so they'll be posted on the Parkway site. You can get them from your coaches as well. We'll talk a little bit about what these time standards mean here in just a moment. Colby Robic, again, he finished first in that heat and for the event at 2:40.41. The 12-year-old now on that IM at 2:40.41. Very, very solid BB time for that young man. 13 years old across the board for the others. Let's see if we had any other qualifiers in there on that one at 2:54 and 2:56, just off of the B times for Crandall and Briner. So solid BB time for Colby Robic. We're going to take a break. We got about 4 minutes. Take your time. Go make a pit stop. Grab a snack. Grab a drink, a refreshment, and come on back and watch the next one. Next event, and this one will be the 100-yard freestyle. Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX meet. We are at Parkway North High School. My name is Matt Judkins. I'm along with Kevin Girth, our producer and camera operator here for this swim meet here this afternoon. We want to remind all the parents now, you can text me, send me some info on your child, moms, dads, grandma, and grandpas. Use my number, 314-369-3289. That's 314-369-3289. Send me a note about your swimmer, the one that you want to cheer for, a little interesting bit of info, where they go to school, what grade they're in, etc. We'll mention it right here on the air. We love to hear from them. We've had all kinds of shout outs. You can do that via text, again, at 314-369-3289, or right back there through the YouTube channel, right there in the chat box. Also want to give you a note that Kevin Girth added the link to the motivational timesheet right there on the YouTube page, so you can go check those out. Now we're in the 100 freestyle. This will be 4 lengths of the pool, top to bottom. Lane 1 is at the top, lane 6 at the bottom. So this is just lanes 2 through 5. It's Carly Keski in 2, Paige Blom in 3, Amelia Bothman in 4, and Audrey Taylor in lane number 5. We got a note from Audrey's father, wants to give his daughter a shout out and say, go get him, kiddo. Of course, her father, a decorated Navy veteran, spent 8 years near the ocean floor working in top secret ops for the United States Navy. We want to give a salute to all those who have served our country, including Mr. Taylor. And he says, cheers to all of those folks, as he is out on his back deck right now watching this contest, enjoying a nice cold Vesodi. And he said, Audrey, if you do well, you can have one of those Vesodis when you get home as well. Must be a Southsider. That's how they pronounced soda back in the 70s and 80s. Sodies, Vesodis, always a good refreshing drink there. First two on the breakout from the far side, top of your screen here, are Blom and Keski as they come back down to the wall. This is just 100, so this will just finish it up for them. Everybody here trying to get inside 120. First one to the wall in lane number 3 will be Blom. She'll do it at 1:13.91. She breaks hers by almost 4 seconds. Just behind her, Keski at it was 1:13.04 for Blom, 91 for Blom. Taylor coming in just behind her at 1:22. She saved 5 seconds off of her time, and 1:27.51 for Bothman. So some good drops there in that first heat. Now we'll go to heat number 2 of 2. This one will be a full heat of all 6 lanes filled up on this one. Starting at the top of your screen, lane number 1 is Martina Muni, Alex Dixon in lane number 2, Jenna Berry in lane 3, Jessa Lee in lane 4, Alexis Briner in lane 5, and Sophie Cole in lane number 6. Of course, Jessa Lee also has an older swimmer that swims for the Parkway program, Samantha Lee. She is here helping time here this afternoon. Of course, one of the top long-distance swimmers in the Parkway program and in the state of Missouri. She competes for Westminster High School. Jessa also a student at Westminster Elementary. So all the swimmers out now. First one down the pool, Jenna Berry gets an early bit of a lead, followed closely behind by Briner in lane 5, then Lee in 4, and here closest Sophie Cole, coming in with a time of 1:14 in 4th place. 5th is Tixon, then Muni in lane number 1. Rounding things out. Age groups here, 12 up to 16. We've got one 12-year-old, 3 13-year-olds, a 14-year-old, and a 16-year-old. So that 16-year-old is Barry. She is a couple of body lengths ahead of the other swimmers right now as she leads going into the 75-yard mark. Just 2 lengths of the pool on this one. She'll touch the wall and go back the other way. Quickly followed right there by Lee and then Briner, Tixon, Muni, and Cole. First one to the wall in this one will be Jenna Berry, the 16-year-old. Let's see what she touches at. She touches at 1:01.24. Nice improvement for her. Now Lee coming in right behind her. 1:06.79. Good drop for her of almost 2 seconds. Third place in that heat, 1:07.92 for Briner. And she drops almost 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds. Fourth place, 1:09.33. Nice drop of 5 seconds for Cole. Fifth place, 1:13.10. A little bit of an ad for Tixon. just a little off his time, and then 1:17.61 for Muni, a little off her time as well. So folks, that'll round things out here in event number 2. Now we're going to have about a 10-minute break. We'll let the swimmers cool down, get ready for the next event. The next event in this one will be the 100-yard backstroke, so we'll bring you that one in about 10 minutes. Go ahead and take your time, get a break, and we'll come back. But before we do, let me salute all of our sponsors here for the Parkway Swim program. First, Phillips 66. Folks, if you're out buying gas, be sure to sponsor or actually support our sponsors here for the Parkway program. They help us keep some of the costs low and allow for some of the different events that we have around the program. Renoco Beverage Solutions, Quiet Village Landscaping, they can design your paradise. Mary Tuttle's, The Art of Living, My Way Mobile Storage, Dense Express, Amazon Smile. Of course, you shop, Amazon gives, and then our gear and equipment and swimsuit sponsor, Tier Athletic Wear. Be sure to patronize all those sponsors whenever you get the opportunity. Again, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have that next event, the 100-yard backstroke, in now about 8 minutes or so. We are back here once again at Parkway North High School, bringing you the Parkway IMX swim meet. This is the last session, the third session of Saturday. We are on event number 3, or event number 27 of the overall meet, the 100-yard backstroke. We'll have 2 heats here in this one as we get set to go here in just a moment. First heat, we will have lanes 1 through 5, top of your screen to the bottom of your screen. Carly Keski in lane 1, Martina Muni in lane 2, Sandra Kim in lane 3, Tyler Matheny in lane 4, and Audrey Taylor in lane 5. And we are just about set to go. They're going to get both heats lined up before we probably get started. So Marshall Blair Porter gets all the swimmers organized on the far side. Looks like we're just about to go, but we want to pass along a very wonderful note we got from Ryan Matheny, Tyler's father. He was here earlier with his daughter Sydney timing, but sent along some nice little anecdotes about young Tyler. And you heard Coach Chris Etherington in our previous interview earlier today talk about the type of athletic ability that it takes to be a really top-notch swimmer. Well, Tyler's a freshman at Parkway West High School. He swims for the high school, loves the backstroke and distance freestyle. But this young man is a 4-time national champion at the Paralympic Junior National Champions in both swimming and field events. And he's a record holder in the long jump, shot put, and discus. That's what kind of athletes we have swimming for the Parkway swim program. He's also a big dog lover, loves his sister and his parents. His sister was here earlier, and of course, as any young teenager would do, loves his video games. He's an Xbox man versus a PS4 or 5 man, and you see him stretch out here in this 100-yard backstroke, picking a slightly early lead in this heat. Next to him in lane 5 is Taylor Keski, all the way down in lane 1. A couple of scratches here in this one. Muni and Kim not in the pool right now in lanes 2 and 3. So just 3 swimmers competing here. Nice turnaround for all 3 swimmers. So Matheny breaks out here, trying to best his previous low of 140 or 134.19. Taylor coming in at 139.11 and Keski at 145.26. It'll be Matheny first to the wall at 41.73, followed by Keski and then Taylor. We talked about Audrey's father just a moment ago being a Navy vet. Her mother also teacher here. She's on the front lines right now, as so many of the Parkway parents and grandparents and relatives are educators as well. We want to give a nice salute out to them. Audrey's mother, Amy, and all the other educators, day in and day out, doing what they can to educate these young kids, whether it's virtually, and all the challenges that go with that are braving the classroom at that high risk of contracting COVID once again. We want to thank all of them, and I think those sentiments would go out across the entire network. As we come down to it, inside the flags now, Tyler Matheny trying to best his previous time. He's going to touch 1:25.06. He'll do that by almost 9 seconds. Right in behind him at 1:28.18, Audrey Taylor. She'll best hers by almost 11 seconds. And I think we had a soft touch there in lane 1 from Carly Keski. So she's going to touch it now, but she gave it a little bit of a soft touch. We'll see what her official time is going to be, but nice drops, and she did drop, definitely. Probably the most significant drop of anybody. Nice job by all 3 of those swimmers. They'll pop on out of the pool, and they'll be replaced by a full slate. Let's see if we've got all lanes filled here in our second heat. It looks like we will. Starting, excuse me, at the top of your screen, Alex Tixon, lane number 1, Sophie Cole in lane 2. Elam Fu had a very strong swim earlier in this session. She'll be in 3. Colby Robick, also a strong double B time earlier. He'll be in lane 4. Alex Briner in 5, and Mia Crandall in lane number 6. And then they're off. Top of the water very quickly was Tixon, but it's Robick pulling out further, and Briner also down here at lane 6 with a nice strong underwater breakout was Mia Crandall. 4-lane stroke. Here we go on the breakout once again. You want to try and go deep and stay underwater, and then rise back to the water, and then come right up and take off. Colby Robick now continuing to push his way, the young 12-year-old. 2 12-year-olds in Fu and Robick, 3 13-year-olds in Briner, Crandall, and Tixon, and Cole, a 14-year-old. Nice split there of 37-47 for Robick to lead the way. Another nice one as well right behind him with Fu at 38-12. Colby trying to best 120, get under 120, as is Fu. Everyone else trying to get under 125 and 130. Fu and Robic now neck and neck. Fu with a nice push off. Robic, though, top of the water first. He's got just a slight little lead. You're going to watch them coming down. This is going to be a nice race to the finish line. Catching up quickly, though, in lane number 2 is Sophie Cole. Down to the wire. This one's going to come stroke to stroke. It's Robic and it's Fu. Stroke to stroke. Fu with a little bit of a lead. Who's going to touch first? It'll be Fu at 1:16.78. Robic at 1:16.99. Both of them dropping significant time off of their previous best. Congratulations to both of those youngsters. What a race it was. This came right down to it at the end. Third place in that heat, lane number 2, 1:20.08 for Sophie Cole. 1:20.68. Nice little drop of almost 6 seconds for Briner. Crandall coming in at 1:22.33. 11 seconds off of her best time, and then 1:43.38 for Tixon. A little bit slower than previous times for that youngster, but we're going to total these up here. We're going to look at some of our stats and see who achieved some of those elite times, who got the B times, who got the BB times. All those types of things are what the swimmers want to do. Now it looks like we're going to have a third heat here. Looks like it's a late entry swimmer, so we're going to let her go. I'm not really sure who this is. We'll try and get that name here in just a moment. So she'll swim this one by herself. As a note, Colby Robic, solid B time. Yulin Fu on that 100 backstroke. She gets a BB time for her efforts. Congratulations to those youngsters. Just going to stretch this one out here a little bit. We'll go back. We did not get the 100 freestyle in for you earlier here in this. So we'll go back and check those times as well. Solid B time for, actually, solid BB time for Jessa Lee. She came in at 1:06.79 back in that 100 free. At BB time 1:08.29. So congratulations to that young lady. Time as well for Alexis Briner. As well as Sophie Cole. There's some good times being turned in there for those youngsters. Now we'll have a 5-minute break first after that one. Time on that one, 1:28.88. We'll get the name of that young lady and figure out who she was, hopefully, for you. But before we do that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have event number 4, the 100-yard breaststroke. 2 heats of that in just a few minutes. Ready? We are back live at Parkway North High School. My name is Matt Judkins. I'm happy to be bringing you this afternoon's action here at the Parkway IMX. Of course, the sights and sounds being brought to you by Kevin Girth. He's the producer of our live web stream here this afternoon. We hope you've enjoyed it along this Parkway Swim Club YouTube network. We are about to enter event number 4 here in this afternoon session. This will be the 100-yard backstroke, 2 heats. As these swimmers get lined up and ready to go, bringing an update on that last event. You saw in the 100-yard backstroke, one of the young ladies swim by herself at the end. 1:28.88 was the time for Martina Muni. She was initially scheduled to be in that first heat, unable to make it to the blocks on time, but she did drop almost 6 seconds. So congratulations to that young lady on a nice swim, especially doing it by yourself with everybody else at the pool watching. Here we go now in this 100-yard breaststroke. First heat, just 3 competitors in this one, lanes 2, 3, and 4. It'll be Alexis Briner in lane 2, Carly Keski in lane 3, and Audrey Taylor in lane 4. All of them looking to go better than 1:45 if possible here. It'll be 4 lengths of the pool, down and back. We've talked about this breaststroke throughout the last couple of days. This is the most technical of the 4 strokes. All of them require great technique in order to be good and be fast and to get maximum speed, but this one more than anything else, a lot of different components to it, whether it's the shoulders and the head, whether it's the pull out of the water, whether it's the way you kick so you don't get disqualified for a foul kick, the push off the wall. All these things come into play with the breaststroke, and they have to be all spot on in order to get maximum speed. To the wall first is Briner, the 13-year-old. All 3 of these young ladies 13 years old. Keski in the middle and Audrey Taylor nearest to you on the screen in lane number 4. Initial split for Briner here, 45.51. That should put her well ahead of her previous time. They both can go touch the wall at 75. They'll come back for the final 25. Again, all 3 of these young ladies would love to break 1:45. That's their goal here in this one. Briner well on her way to it. Keski and Taylor right there on top of that time as well. They should beat it, judging by where they're at in the pool right now. If they can keep up this good pace, this could be a tiring stroke as well. Again, a lot of components to it. Wear the shoulders out, wear the legs out. 1:36.29 for Briner, followed directly behind by Taylor at 1:45. 1:41.81 and 1:42.37 to round things out. Excuse me, that was Taylor. So all of them dropping significant time in this one. Congratulations to those young ladies for great swims. Now we're going to jump in for heat number 2. This will be a full heat. All 6 lanes taken up, top to bottom of your screen. Lane number 1, Amelia Bothman, Martina Muni in lane number 2, Jessa Lee in lane 3, Jenna Berry in lane 4, Lauren Bothman in lane number 5, and Paige Blum in lane number 6. Earlier lead right now in lane number 4. That'll go to Jenna Berry, the 16-year-old. She came in 1:35.05. Jessa Lee at 1:34.92 in lane 3. And those 2 top seed times. Also a good one for Muni in lane 2, 1:38.51, and Bothman in lane 5 at 1:41.71. Making a nice play to take the lead here. Paige Bloom as they come to the wall. First one to the wall will be Berry, then Bloom, then Lee. Followed by Bothman, Muni, and Amelia Bothman. 4 swimmers right now, all within touching distance of each other. That's lanes 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and 6, excuse me. First one to the wall on the far side will be Berry. She's led most of the way. Nice turn for her. Underwater, very good. Now she's going to pull out, both about the same time, but Jessa Lee has closed the gap a little bit. Now let's see who's going to come right down to it. We've got a race post for first and second here in the heat. It's Berry and Lee. They're going to come to the flag just about even. Berry with a slight lead. Lee catching up, Berry stretching it out. Who's going to be the first one to touch? Let's see if anybody gets it to the first. It'll be Berry, then Lee right behind her, followed closely by Blum, then Lauren Bothman, followed up by Martina Muni coming to the wall now, and Amelia Bothman. So very tight race right down to the wire. 129.96 for Berry. She dropped over 5 seconds in her race. 130.25 for Jessa Lee. A drop of 4.5 seconds for that young lady. 141.23, fifth place. A little bit of an ad for Martina Muni, as well as a bit of an ad for Amelia Bothman in lane 1. Looking down to lane number 6 at 131.35, almost a 14-second drop for Blom. And then Lauren Bothman coming in at 133.87. She dropped significant time as well. We're going to look at any potential beats of or achievements of time standards, and we're going to take a quick break now. We're at a 10-minute break. When we come back on the other side, we will have one heat of the 100-yard butterfly and then 2 heats of the 200-yard freestyle to wrap things up. Until then, take a break, grab a snack, and we'll be back in a few moments. Welcome back to Parkway North High School. We are at the Parkway IMX meet here in 2020. This will be one heat for the 100-yard butterfly. Top to bottom of your screen, lane 1 to 6. It'll be Tixon in lane 1, Robick in lane 2, Briner in lane 3, Fu in 4, Matheny in 5, and Audrey Taylor in lane number 6. And this will be 4 lengths of the pool for this power stroke. First one looking to touch there at the wall will be Robick on the far side. He's in lane number 2. His best time, 1:28.09. Best time of the heat preliminarily goes to Alexis Briner. She was at 1:23.49. Tixon and Taylor both establishing their first time for this particular stroke. First one to the wall now will be Fu. Fu will push back off and go the other way, followed closely behind by Briner and Robick. Fu and Robick, both 12 years old, 13-year-old. Taylor, Briner, and Tixon, and Matheny, a 14-year-old. As they go down to the far end of the pool, one more length to go. There it is on the touch. Coming back, it'll be Fu first. Briner just slightly ahead of Robick in lane number 3. All of them closing now as they're going to try and power their way towards the finish line. Lane number 1, it'll be Tixon, followed by Matheny and Taylor. Down to the wire now, it's going to be Fu to the line. She's going to be well ahead of her previous time, 1:18.50 for that young lady. Followed closely behind by Briner, 1:22.80 for a nice drop for her. Robick, significant drop as well at 1:23.97 to the wall in lane 1. Tixon, didn't get a hard touch for him. Here's Taylor. She comes in. She'll touch 143.32 for Taylor. First time out. Nice job for her. And 142.82. Almost a 6-second drop for Tyler Matheny. So congratulations to all those youngsters on a very, very fine swim. As Fu and Robick, again, the 12-year-olds, pacing first and third. Briner. So on the 12-year-olds, you look at Colby Robick coming in at 1:23 in that 100 fly, just off of the B time, right about a sec, just a little more than a second. Fu on the other side coming in at 1:18, solid B time for that young lady. And of course, 13-year-olds Alexis Briner at 1:22 in that 100 fly, did not quite get to the B time either. So good race all the way around for all 6 of those youngsters. All 6 of those youngsters. We'll take another break now. We're at a 5-minute break. When we come back on the other side of this one, we'll have the final 2 heats here in our Saturday of festive swim meet. Welcome back here to Parkway North High School. Matt Judkins along with Kevin Girth as we have enjoyed bringing you all this great swim action here from the 2020 Parkway IMX swim meet. These groups today, blue groups, AGS and Senior 1. Of course, blue groups coached by Gavin Hager and Kean Quigley. The AGS team is head coach of AGS, Chris Etherington, and MJ Woolers, the head coach of Senior 1. Those are all the coaches here for this afternoon. Of course, a couple of assistants as well. Ethan Goldfarb has been on tap along with Cade Cross to help out as well. Final event now of this session here. It's actually event number 30 overall, event number 6 of this session. It will be the 200-yard freestyle. So this is a medium distance swim. First heat will have 5 swimmers. Second heat will have 6 swimmers. We'll just about get them to go. They're trying to organize them behind the block so we can get this underway. Alex Dixon will be in lane number 1 at the top of your screen. Sophie Cole in 2. Amelia Bothman in lane 3. Mia Crandall in lane 4. And Paige Blum in lane 5. Three of the swimmers in this event do not have times recorded yet. Those are Blum, Cole, and Tixon. Amelia Bothman and Mia Crandall, both with times already established, trying to beat 3 minutes. Crandall, first one out of the water on the distance stroke. In lane number 4, Cole. In lane number 2, of course, young Mia Crandall attends Incarnate Word grade school, elementary school just up the road here from Parkway North High School. Young 7th grader. Brother Cooper swam for the team for a couple of years as well. As the first 3 lead swimmers come to the wall, that'll be Cole, Crandall, and Blum. Cole, the first one to touch. Crandall must have had a soft touch on that pad as they all push down to the other end. Tixon up at the top of your screen in 4th, and in the middle of the pool, Amelia Bothman. And those top 3 swimmers in the heat all just about even now as they approach 100 yards when they touch the wall here in just a moment. Trying to break the 3-minute mark, whether it's your first time out or previous established time. Just over 1:15 for the fastest 100, so that should put them well within range to break that 3 minutes. Other side as they hit 125 far side. All 3 swimmers still again staying relatively close, all within a half a distance or half a body length of each other, although looks like Cole's starting to lengthen out maybe slightly, but here comes Blum as she speeds past everybody to the wall once again. At 150, she'll touch second. Now we've got to race the last 50 meters, and this is the sprint part. Let's see who's got anything left in the tank, who pace themselves to give themselves just a little bit of extra boost and push with some energy as they come to the wall. All 3 of the swimmers even. 4th place Tixon, and then Bothman in the middle of the pool. Here we go now. We got a race, folks. Everybody get ready to watch. It's going to come right down to the wire right now. Slight little lead. We're Cole in lane number 2, but it looks like Crandall and Blum are going to pass her up. Looks like Crandall and Blum. Crandall and Blum. It'll be Crandall to the wall first at 2:34.57. Way besting her previous time of 3:08. 2:34.64 for Blum, 2:35.06, so really strong all the way around for all of these young ladies so far. Then to the wall is Tixon. He had a soft touch. He was around 2:50, so nice swim for each of those youngsters. Crandall besting her previous time by over a half a minute. So congratulations to that young lady on a very strong swim. Heat number 2 now, top to bottom of the screen. You got Sandra Kim in lane 1, Martina Muni in lane 2, Jessa Lee lane 3, Jenna Berry, lane 4, Lauren Bachman in lane 5, and Carly Keski in lane number 6. Looks like Sandra Kim opted out of this one, so she will not be racing. Off to the quick start here in this one. Jenna Berry, we saw her battle earlier. She's the 16-year-old, but very smooth stroke for her in this freestyle. Very deliberate, stays right on top of the water. Head doesn't get lifted up, it just turned. You see Jessa Lee right next to her in lane 3, same way. Very good form. It's when you start to lift that head up out of the water that you slow yourself down. All 5 swimmers now to the wall under 39 seconds. Just right at 39 seconds, I should say. Back to the other end of the pool here. Berry, slight lead over Lee. Now join us tomorrow morning, first session, 7:30 on Sunday. We'll bring you 3 sessions tomorrow, 7:30, 9:30, and 11:30. Come on out and join us and check everything out. Jenna Berry now. 109.87, way ahead of what her previous time was at 2:26. Jessa Lee came in with the fastest prelim time at 2:23. Those two are neck and neck as they approach 125. They'll bounce off the wall and come back the other way. It's like Lee slightly pulling ahead now as they approach the flag towards the side of the pool where they dropped in at. Berry, 0.14 ahead of Lee as they go back the other way. Berry pulls away a little bit after a nice kick out. Hoffman, Keski, and Muni all still rounding out the rest. Off the wall now, other way. Nice pull out. Lee pulls back just a little bit. Now they're going to kick hard and they're going to come all the way to the finish line. Berry stretching it out. Now she's got a lot of speed left. She's got a lot left in the tank. She lengthened it out. An extra body length, and she's going to go to the wall in a very blazing fast time. 2:18.97 for that young lady. She saved significant time off. 2:21.40 for Jessa Lee as well. She improved by almost 2 seconds, but a great race down to the wire. Third place, 2:39.01 for Bothman. 2:47.22 just off of her time. And rounding it out with a personal best of 2:54.95 is Carly Keski, but of course Jessa Lee here. 2:21. 2:21.29, just slightly off by 0.11 from that BB time. So good swim for her. She powered her way through. So folks, that'll do it here for us this afternoon. We hope you've enjoyed all of this broadcast along this Parkway YouTube channel. We want to thank Kevin Girth for his production and all of his patience working through all and any technical issues that might have arisen. Of course, we want to thank all the officials for today, all the volunteers that worked the table and helped organize everything, and of course, the coaches for their time here today. So be sure to join us now, Sunday morning, 7:30. That'll be session number 1, the 6th session overall of 8 here in this Parkway IMX swim meet. Until then, so long. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon.